Hey everybody, what up? Scuff D here. And it is time to get over the top with Legions. Ladies and gentlemen, the Extermination set is here. It's upon us. So I'm going to do this. I'm at lunch. Got some time before I have to get back into the office. I'm at work. I'm in my car. And there have been some major updates here, actually, with Extermination. So first off, I'm going to try to do a vid later tonight, a little shorter vid to kind of go into some of the significant changes that we're seeing. One of the big ones being this challenge option here. So we'll be talking about that. That's fun. But something that we are definitely going to be seeing, and we're doing these together live. I'm like, it's noon here, so Extermination's been out for about at least 12 hours, and I know people are posting up cards, and it looks pretty good. It looks like there's some interesting stuff out there. One of the new things here too with the crates, I don't know, is this on here? No, it doesn't say. So it tells you what there's like a built-in counter now with a guaranteed legendary at 30 if you're not getting one before then. So that's new. That's a new change that we'll kind of see here. So normally the rarity is 1 to 20, but if you're at 30 and you haven't gotten a legendary, then you are supposed to get a legendary. So that's new. So that's good. That's good. There's some other changes here that we'll get into. Like I said, another video, another time. I don't have an hour to talk about everything, but I am ready to open up some Extermination crates. I've got 191,000. That's 191 Extermination crates, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I'm going to do 191 Extermination crates, but I'm going to go crazy. I'm going to go crazy, balls to the wall. I'm going to go over the top. Bust out my Lincoln Hawk, put on your hat, turn it backwards, and get ready, because I think we're going to open up at least 160 crates starting now. So let's see what we got here. Extermination. I've already gotten a lot of the Night Lords cards. Nice. There's a new card here. Informant Network. Deal 1 damage to enemies and they lose stealth. Everybody who's been begging and arguing and pleading for an anti-stealth, this is your answer. There are some other good anti-stealth cards. I think there's at least one more, I think, in this set. But that's a common. It's a neutral card, and it's accessible to everybody, and it deals to all enemies. Cultist, I like the Cultist. I like this. Volcanic Instability. Deal 3 damage to 5 random units in play for 5. Okay, that has a lot of interesting consequences, especially if there's more units on the other side of the board than you. I wonder if that works consecutively, kind of like Fury from Above. So you could potentially deal 15 damage to 1 unit. That's possibly. All right. Rhino. Terror Campaign. Enemy troops cost 2 more until your next turn. Now this is something similar to a couple cards that increase the cost of tactics, and I honestly think that this is something that should be explored more. Not heavily, because we're just now getting to the point where we're starting to see some troops. Some troop-heavy builds focused in, but I think cards like this are going to throw off those decks that rely on fast troops or cheap troops, changer spam, goldstone rushes. It puts a little crimp in it, and I think if we could see some more of that, that's good. 4 cost is kind of pricey, but depends on your deck. You might be able to swing it. So let's see here. So we've already got 2 of the new cards here. All right, there's an epic duplicate or not. It's an epic. It's 100 plus gems. Those gems are going to come in handy for me somewhere down the road when there's a legendary in the shop that I need, and there are still legendaries in the shops that I need. So, double Antrimatars. All right, we are going Decimus. Every time I see this, I rage. This is now my, I think, 12th Perturabo's Wrath. I hope it's the last one, but it won't be. Let's be honest. Let's be real here. We know I'm going to get another Perturb. Stop! Stop it! This is live. This is not live, but it's recorded. But come on, man. Really? have so many things to say about that, and I'm just holding my tongue. Okay, here's one I don't have, or I only had one of, apparently. So that's good. Little dupe, and now I've got the full thing, so thank you for that. Double Informant Network's good. I think that'll be a good one to have, honestly, especially for neutral warlords who had some iffy reliables. So support talent, I don't think I had this one at all before, so that's good to have. I didn't buy as much. Oh, good. This is one of the new rares here. So this one, Ornitov, a lot of people are looking into. Right off the bat, it's a pricey card for 7, but it's a beefy card. It can quickly become an 8/7 frontline. They've got to attack it. They can't just skip over it and go for your warlord and think that, okay, well, I'll just eat the 5. They're going to have to eat a lot. So let's see here. So far, it looks like we're at, I don't know how many crates. No legendaries yet. Some rares. We've had a couple epics. Fleeing Populace. Now, this is neat. It's cheap. Your opponent draws a card. So there's that build, that Alpha Legion build has a tool to it. So we are 10 crates in. No legendary, but that's okay because odds are 1 in 20. So I'm not worried about it yet. But I definitely do want to get some legendaries. During the event rewards, okay, these guys are neat. For 1 energy, give +2/+0 and heal 3 to a friendly vehicle troop. That's pretty good for a cost of 5. And he's a tech. Not bad, not bad. That's a good troop. For my event rewards, Trader's End was a top 3 lodge. So we got guaranteed legendary in our crate. I ended up actually with 2 Night Lord legendaries they did not have. I got the Raven, and I got Kurz's Chosen. So that was a great crate, actually. Great crate. All right. So we're filling out the neutral stuff, and I think there's roughly about 20 new neutral cards in the set. I think each end, Mechanicum, Chaos, and Imperial have got. We'll have to take a look at the cards here. I'm going to do that in a separate vid again. I got some content to do here tonight. Technical Service. Here's another new card. Lower the cost of your next vehicle this turn by 2 for 0. Very cheap, very free, but if you can get him out there and keep him alive for a turn, you could start pumping out some cheaper vehicles, so that's neat. Okay, so we are at 15 crates? 15 crates now. I'm not overly counting. Another Terror Campaign. I've got a couple new rares. I don't think I've gotten any new epics that weren't duplicated. Rule of Fear. So I don't know if I had 2 of these or not, but that's good to have for the Night Lords, for sure. Alright, Huntmaster, Hydra's Heads, Technical Servitors, No Squad, Rack and Ruin. We are approaching the 20 mark. And then obviously, like I said, like it's got the built-in at 30, you're supposed to, if I go over 20, at the very least, if I'm doing 160 crates, that's 5 legendaries if it has to go to the 30 mark, so that's still not bad. Plus a ton of gems for down the road, and I would hope at that point that should pick me up all the neutral cards that I'm going to need. Duplicate Forex there. Legion. Just popping through crates here left and right. A lot of these, like with the original Legions, Iron Warriors, Alpha Legion, and Night Lords, we've already kind of gone through and seen these. Ah, here we go. Velaterra, so deal 3 damage to a random enemy troop, but for 1. Decent. That's not bad. That's not bad. I like that ability. That has potential. It's an affordable troop, and it does some damage. And it actually, I mean, like if you frontline that thing, you don't have to do anything with them. Ah, here we go. Here's another one. This one was a preview earlier. So Dracosan Transport. 2 energy, put in play a las rifle section. I don't think we've seen las rifle section yet, but 3/5 for a vehicle, that's not bad. I'm gonna turn my car off just in case that's background noise. If that was making loud noise earlier, I apologize, but it's cold here in wintertime, so sometimes you need a heater on while you're sitting in your car on your lunch break, opening up cards on your phone. Okay, I'm almost at the 30 mark now here. Keep an eye on this. Oh, there you go. There's a legendary. It's a duplicate, but it's a legendary. Yeah, that's a great one to have, by the way. It's great for the Alpha Legion. He has saved my game many times. So I didn't quite make it to the 30 mark. I did make it to the, looks like the 20, you did your math, 190 something. What was I at? 191, 197? I would hope it moved 197. I'm going to have to go back and take a look at that, because if it actually went over 30, that would be worth noting. That it's not working right, and that's no good. That is no good. So we're at 164 is where we're starting for this next batch. Here's a new rare here. Deal 4 damage to an enemy troop, can act again. Okay, and if he's come out on turn 8, then the next turn you can use that twice to do 8 damage, basically. To a troop, though, not to a unit. So do keep that in mind. So 164.30 should be me to 134. By 134, I should have another legendary. Olympian Recruits, Price of Victory, Sheath and Steel. It's a decent pull in Iron Warrior stuff there. Where are we going here? I think I might have made it to the mode now where I've got to restart the game here. I'll give it a little bit of time. Give it a little bit of time. Okay, yeah, well, let's go ahead and restart it. All right, let's get back into it. Sometimes you just ask too much of the game, I think, at that point. But what do you do? I got gold. I want to buy crates. Do we have one still sitting here? Yeah. So it was purchased. It just wasn't open. That's fine. You don't want to get lost gold. That's no good. Havoc Squad. Seeing those technical servitors got those guys going. Okay. You know, then there's, like, for the cost-wise, so we got 2 of that. That's good. Cost-wise for the... oh, nice. Give a friendly vehicle +2/+2 and attacks by itself at the start of your turn. And it's a 2 cost. That's very interesting. So you make it beefier, but then you give it attacks by itself at the start of your turn, which is random. But that's not bad if you've got some other bonuses onto it. It has potential. You know, saving up just for the full expansion pack crate with all 3 legions in it, Promodon, for half the cost as opposed to buying into the legion crates as they come out. You know, that's a personal preference. I could go one way or the other, but really with the new legions, I want to get in touch with them as soon as possible, whether that's getting access to their cards or how their play style or whatever the case may be. So for me, I had the gold. I wanted to go for it. I easily could have had, enough to buy, at this point, 300 extermination crates, which is overkill. But then you also, at the same time, are diluting your potential legendary pool, because idealistically, if you're pulling from a legion crate, that's what you should be getting your legendaries from. Doesn't mean that's always the case. But they should be coming from that legion, so that ups the chance of you getting a legendary that you want to get that's new, as opposed to getting a duplicate. Curse of Force, I've got 2 of those. At this point, I think I've got all the non-legendary Night Lord cards. And that's where I was at with the Alpha Legion and the Iron Warriors as well, as far as just needing legendary cards. So I think that puts me on par. I'll have to check that later tonight. Malkador tank. Oh, was that a neutral or was that? Let's take a look at that one. All right, 2 of these guys. I like that. What do we got here? This is a neutral. So a 9 cost for 712. It's a Malkador heavy tank, so that's a beefy tank. That 12 health, high health in the game. I mean, that's epic. So nice. It is a 9 cost, but there's some cards I think that make it interesting, especially if you're doing like a flank deck with you're using that Iron Hands tactic. There's a tactic I think I saw that like you just, maybe that's a Mechanicum card. It might be a new Mechanicum card where like you just play all your energy and then just put a random card in play that costs that much energy, which isn't bad if you're going for the high cost. Typically you're getting something high, but it's like a gamble because using all your energy, you know. No, I don't want to get that tapped a little bit too low. So we still only have 1 legendary. We are about 15 more crates away from that point where we should have a second coming. $13 more. No, 14 more. 14 more. Do the math. Hello? Am I asking too much? I'm sure there's a bunch of other people online right now trying to play. Let's go ahead and close this one out and do it again. Now, that's one thing to kind of, obviously you can't see the meter. There's no tracking. It's just something that they've announced on the Discord chat that's the way that it works, but you can't see it. So the question is, that's loading my gems. I wonder, okay, so the question is, does that continue? Is that like one sitting? Is that going to be one sitting, or is that going to be through the course of, like, let's say as a newer player, it takes me 7 days. It'll probably take you more than that, but let's just say it takes 7 days of opening crates, normal crates, to get to 30 crates. Does that track it through the course of all 7 days? Does that reset every 24 hours? Okay, so here's a new rare, Unreliable Informant. Deal 1 damage to your warlord when you draw a card. For 1 energy, you can give this troop to your opponent. It seems like it's a good thing for Alpha Legion, but you got to wait a turn before you use that ability. So it's not. It's, I mean, the Alpha Legion. The Alpha Legion Informant or Undercover Operative is much better. That just seems like that's going to hurt you in the long run, unless your opponent doesn't know, or you can somehow get him over there in a turn and then lock him. He still can send him right back to you. At that point, it just doesn't seem like it's a good return value. We are still cranking out, opening up crates. Alright. You got time here? Let me check the chrono. Okay, yeah, I got some time here before I gotta get back in for lunch. Another Fleeing Populace. Another one of those. We're at 634. Or is it 34, 37, 34? 34 would be 7 more. 7 more away from that. Okay. I'm counting this down because this is, if this goes over with the mark that they've already said, then there's an issue in their matrix. And here we go again. Just I probably should stop, but I'm not going to because I'm on a roll. And I made a goal. I'm opening up all these crates, baby. 130 crates are going to get opened, at least. It's going to leave me with, well, we'll open up a free one here. I don't know if that factors into that equation at all. I don't think it does, to be honest with you. I think that's not going to count towards this. Okay, so yeah, I only had one of those before, so now I've got 2. That's good. Okay, 5 more crates. within 5 more crates, I should have a legendary. If I do not, then we've got to talk. We've got to talk, devs, because it's not working. Okay, this is 2. 3 more crates. That's good. I don't think, I don't know if I had one of those or I had, no, I had 0 and now I have both. That's good. Awesome. I'm pleased with that crate. I'm not pleased that I'm getting to that point. I mean, we went through this with the Iron Warriors and it was not, it was a very sad camper. Wow. Okay, so there you go. So right before the 30 mark or at the 30 mark, depending on how you look at it, got the legendary. Double again. Let's keep up. Let's keep positive here. We got a long ways to go. Now we're at 135, so by the time I get to 105,000 is when we should have. Oh, I just skipped over that. We should have another. So las rifle section. Here's one I didn't have before. Common, rally, deal 1 damage. It's a 3/3. That's not bad. For neutral, that's not bad. It's a cheap, it's affordable, but, you know, you put it into play. Give yourself a little 3. No, I don't want, oh, I accidentally grabbed a Night Lord's crate. That's, I don't know why I tapped over there, but I did. And I'm not sure if you, like, if you change up your crates or anything, if that makes a difference. So instead of 105, then we'll have to be at 104 before we should expect a legendary, if we don't have one before that. And if it's a 3rd score, I'm going to keep going, and I'll be sour about it. All right, 2nd Headhunter Squad, that's good. It has options. Headhunter Squad has options. It's not, you know, the end all. Alpha Legion's got some good stuff without it. Okay. We're getting tap crazy here. But I gotta fly. I gotta get stuff going. I gotta get cards opened. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Now, we haven't seen any of the new neutral legendaries yet, which is, I mean, we've only seen 2 legendaries, and it's the same one, so that's not to be surprised. I don't know if there's any new neutral epics. I think, if I remember correctly, the first expansion, Isfahan 3 crates, or Isfahan 5 crates, some of those epics that are included in that set at this point in time, it'd be nice to have 2 of those, were initially event rewards, in terms of like looking at, okay, if Chaos won the event, it was going to change the game text. Here we go. All right, speaking of, so we've got stealth 1, take 1 damage and heal 3 to your warlord, and he's got 3 health. So right off the bat, he's got the potential to heal your warlord 9 health. He's got stealth, and you could keep healing him to heal him. Interesting. Okay, he has potential. Obviously, there is some anti-stealth in the game. So now we're at 123. So we're going to want to be at 93 before, because the counter resets here. So we should see another one by 93. Yes? Yes. And we're going to go all the way down. All right, second one of those guys. I don't know how I'm going to use them, but I feel like they've got a place. They definitely have place. What's interesting is those Ogrins are not when your warlord takes damage. Joker Company. At the end of your turn, deal 3 damage to random enemy in stealth. So this is another one of those anti-stealth neutral cards. It's a troop, and if your opponent has just got 1 warlord that's stealth, or one enemy that's stealth, they're going to take it. If their warlord, like Korax or Kurz, is stealthed, they're going to take 3 damage. Because it's a random enemy, not just a troop. So that's not a bad card to consider. I think some neutrals, as well as some other decks, might throw that in there if they don't have any decent anti-stealth stuff. There's a lot of ways to deal with stealth. We've talked about that at length. But I think having a troop, and then in addition to that, a passive that just hits, that's going to make it some hurt. So let's see here. We got Store Bazak. Hang on here. I'm going to pause. Okay, so recording resumed. Let's get that up here. Had somebody coming up alongside the car, and I want them to be like, what is he doing in his car with his phone? And whatever I want on my lunch. That's what I'm doing. You like that? Whatever I want. Meow. That's not a good attitude to have at work. Even if you're on your lunch and you're doing what you want to do, and you're sitting in your car and you just want to be left alone, you should never at a coworker. That doesn't get anybody anywhere. So we've got one new legendary. Got a ton of gems, which are going to get me whatever legendaries come up in the shop. Now, I don't have Alfarius. He is the only warlord in this expansion that I don't have currently. A second copy of the Malkador tank. I would like to get Alfarius. You always want to get a Primarch, obviously. Who doesn't? They don't come up in the shop hardly ever. It takes a special act of whatever government entity that you have to have that happen. So that's the one that I'm would really like to see, but I'm not holding my breath. Just getting new legendaries at the very least is going to save me gold, and at some point, or gems, at some point I'll get him. I'm still missing Horus, and I'm still missing Angron as well. Those will be my Moby Dicks that I chase for some time, especially Angron. He's a one-sided game, but since beta, he's been a thorn in my side. And I would like to have the option to just run him for a week. And just be like, there, I did it. I joined the club. I joined the Angron club. Now can we just get on with this? So we're at 107. We're thinking, we said 94. 94 is where we should be at, I believe. So the thing is, when I'm opening up here and I'm talking, sometimes I forget what I was talking about or the numbers that I'm spitting out here. So it's hard to say, did I say 94? Did I say 97? I think it was 94, so I'm going to say 94. Okay, well, the counter's going to reset. I got this guy a duplicate again, but that's 4 legendaries, so you can't say that that's not on par. Duplicate las rifle, okay, that's not a bad crate with a legendary in it. So reset the counter, and at 74,000. So at the very least, I'm going to go for 2 more legendaries before I call it quits, babies. All right, I think I only had one of these guys, and I think these are 2. These are ones that you want to have 2 of in the Night Lords. For sure, they've got a great rally effect. So that's nice to see. That is nice to see. We're going for 2 more legendaries, and then we're going to pause it out, call it quits for the night. Later on tonight, I'll come back in here. Okay. All right. Now, I don't know if I had this epic or not for the Iron Warriors. I might have. I'm not really sure, but it's good to have. Just to have it as a collection and get it over with and get it done. I've seen it used in events. I have not seen it used in the other Iron Warrior decks that I've encountered. So, but the winds of change are slowly blowing, and I think we might begin to see the vehicle incursion start to happen. The legions that are heavy with the vehicles are kind of out. They're here. So there's a lot of potential. And obviously the Mechanicum stuff is never a bad thing to go in terms of supplementing vehicles. I think we do need to see Draeger get some change to his Warlord ability. I kind of mentioned that up in the Iron Warriors card by card. Do have to do the Alpha Legion card by card. Still, I was holding off on that because of the expansion coming up. So I waited, and the time is here. We'll see if changes are happening or not. Okay, so I did have that one before. This is the dupe, so now I've got 2. So there you go. Recon Claw. These are another 2 of for Night Lords for sure. For sure. So, and I had one of those before, so that is 2. So that's good. So at least filling out the epic slots, which is nice. Making a ton of gems for the time to purchase the legendaries as they pop up in the shop. I mean, that right there is going to give me 10 legendaries? No. 8 legendaries. Yes, no, 10. 10 legendaries. That's kind of, I won't say that's all the legendaries I'm missing. That's not. I mean, I think all total I was at 12 before this set released. So I'm close to 20 shy. Good, I've got 2 copies of him now. That's a decent card for the Night Lords if you're going for a non-terror, just kind of a straightforward build. Alright. We're getting into those realms here. We've got some time. I'm trying to think, I mean, we've seen some commons. We're seeing a lot of the stuff from the legions. I know there's at least one legendary for the Imperium. I don't know if there's one or not for Mechanicum. We'll have to take a look again as a secondary thing tonight at the new cards added to the neutral card pool, because I think that just warrants its own little set. There's about 20 of them, and each of them, as we've looked at here already, then there's obviously the ones that I haven't gotten, so I want to look at those and kind of analyze those, tell you where they help out, what gaps they help fill. So we're at 13 away, or 10 away. 10 to 13 away. Again, chatting away, so I can't quite remember the number I spit out there. But we should see a legendary coming up here soon. At the very least, it seems to be working as far as their algorithm and the auto. I haven't had any since looking at it that have gone over that 30 mark, and that's good. That's good. I mean, how many did we do with the Iron Warriors? Like 60? 60 and none? Alright, we're going to have to reset this one here. Lincoln Hawk, don't let me down! Make it over the top. Let's go. We're pushing it. I can't believe I've been doing this for so long. I think part of it, only part of it, has been waiting for, go to the shop. Here we go. Has been waiting for the, okay, so now we're still, as far as we know, we're still keeping track here. We should be at 9 more crates before another legendary. Ooh, there we go. Okay, there's the legendary. And I don't have that one. That I will use it without Alfarius. You kind of need to have Alfarius to really properly use that. So last bit, we're going to go here at least to 52. 52,000 or 5,200. If I get a legendary before then I'll go ahead and call it, because I got to get going here to lunch. Come on, it's loading gems. I'm gonna have to close. I've asked too much. I have overwhelmed the machine spirit of the Legion's crates, and I know I'm not the only one. I know there's a bunch of people out there probably purchasing up crates, getting oodles of cards, hoping to get some. 82, so we're going to go to 5,200. That's kind of easier to remember. I think for the most part we've run through, probably, there might be a rare or two, and again, I think there's been some epics that haven't been released here that we haven't seen, but I think we've seen most of the neutral cards added, aside from the, the 1 or 2 cards, which, obviously that's why we haven't seen them. Bum, bum, bum. So five legendaries, 3 of which were duplicates. And it is really bugging it out now. Alright, let's do this. Hopefully for the last time. And I mean, that's understandable. It doesn't happen except when I'm purchasing a massive amount of cards. But for the most part, it seems to connect just fine. I don't know if others have got issues like that or not. I'm going to wait for my gems to pull up here just because I don't know if that's got something to do to throw into it. My connection is solid. Loading. While we're waiting for that to load, let's check in on the event here. So we're just starting out. So this is an example. These cards here are not yet in the expansion, but they will be included in the expansion in future times when you open the crates once this event is over. And then depending on which side wins, we'll add that text of that card to the game. So it is still not loading up my gems, but I've got to get going, and I need 25 more crates or so to hit my target. So this is crate 1. I don't want to go too slow, but I do want to get this over with. I want to get into work. I want to, I want to have that last legendary say, okay, I did get 6 legendaries. Whether or not it's a duplicate or not remains to be seen. Yeah, it's definitely going slower, and I don't know if that's on my end, if that's my fault. Did I open too many? Have I done this to you? 22 more crates. Give it some time. It seems to be thinking. What is the most crates that you've opened? What is it? This is by far 130 crates plus-ish. I think that's where we're counting at. That's the most I've ever done in one sitting. I think before that was the Iron Warriors, probably with the 60 plus crates. So it's pretty heavy, and I think the next time, I plan to do this every time there's new expansion, new legions, just by having the gold. But we'll get into that again tonight because there's been some changes to the way the economy works in the game. I definitely would like to be able to splurge like that for the Imperial Fists. That's my favorite legion, personal favorite from the get-go. So that's where I've been playing out. If not the Fist, I think Crimson Fist were my first 40k army, and then Black Templars. So from the get-go. So we are talking here. All right, we've got 18 more to go. It is definitely, we've reached the tail end here. The energy is being sapped both from myself and from the crates. All right, second copy of a card that I probably don't plan on using anytime soon. I'm sure there's a niche for them, but not in the way that you're used to. If you can give them fast or flank or something, that wouldn't be too shabby. So we are opening up here. We're down to 14 more crates. Yes, 5,200. That was the goal. That was the target. By 5,200, there should be a legendary. And you don't want to say, I expect it. I don't. If you can expect it sooner, that's great. Good luck. But it's nice to know that that's there, so you can say, hey, with this amount of gold, I'm guaranteed now at this point at least to get something. Whether or not it's going to be what you want, that's a different story. But ideally at that point too, you're in a position where the gems that you've got, and my gems are still loading, by the way. And obviously I'm feeding into them more, but I mean at that point you should have enough gems to get the ones that you want when they're in the shop. All right, there you go. That's the 5th one, which I did not have this one. It's not one I was die hard for, but I'll take it. I needed it. Forge Breaker. Okay, so there you go. I'm going to save it at 6,300 gold, which I think is about where my target was anyways, if I remember correctly. 130, right? 130. I want to open up 3 more. I'm going to open up 3 more. Just 3, just to break it as an even 6,000. 3 more crates, just like an addict. And thankfully this is in-game currency and it's not actual cash, because I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. Those days are over. The physical cards. I would love this game to be a physical card game. At some point it won't. I mean, just the way digital games come and go. It's got a great fluff, obviously, with the license. I think the mechanics themselves are pretty good too, but I think digital games are that's the thing. So this is the last crate. I'm going to go ahead and just do it, wrap it up here. I'm 3 crates into whenever my next 30 cycle is, so there's that. And other than that, I think that's been a pretty eventful. I mean, it could have been better. It's 6 legendaries, 3 of which were dupes. Yeah, that's kind of crummy, but I've got enough gems to buy 10 or more in the future for what I do need, and that's not bad at all. So anyways, guys, that's it. Thank you for sticking around. I got to get into work. It is at the tail end of my lunch. People are going to wonder what happened to me. Why didn't I eat when I was sitting in my car? I'm aiming to get on tonight. We'll go over some of the changes that they've actually made to the game, this challenge mode, the gold, the currency, the events, as well as looking at the new neutral card. That's at least 2 videos, and then going into the Alpha Legion and the Night Lord. So we've got a lot of new content here to talk about, which should be the way it is with every expansion. I hope you guys are having good luck on your crate opening too. I hope you guys are getting stuff that you want. It's a shame I didn't get Alfarius, but he'll pop up sometime soon, and if that's 1 out of 3, eventually I was able to get the 3 from the last expansion. I'm still chasing those 2 dragons, but I anger on Horus. I'm coming for you. I'm going to get you someday. All right, that's it for me. Guys, keep playing Legions, and I'll talk to you later. All right, bye.